last broadcaster. Kayla Reed worked the midnight shift at a fading AM radio station in Willow Springs, Ohio, a town nobody remembered unless their car broke down on the way to somewhere more important. The station, WXAR 1130, was old enough to have dust older than some of its part-time staff. The lights flickered when someone microwaved coffee. The walls hummed with the kind of static only loneliness could generate. Kayla sat alone in the dim booth. The clock glowed 12:03 a.m. Most of the world slept while she kept vigil over dead airwaves. "Good evening, Willow Springs," she said into the microphone, her voice low and warm. "You're listening to Midnight Whisper with Kayla. If you're awake, call in and tell me why." No one did. Her show rarely had callers. Last week she got only 2 calls, one from a trucker who thought the moon controlled gas prices, and one from a lady who wanted to announce her cat's birthday on. With a sigh, Kayla leaned back and stared at the soundboard. She twirled a pen between her fingers. Her life had become a rinse of coffee, dark circles, and a job she never wanted. But the silence tonight was different. Denser. Like the air itself was holding its breath. Then the radio speakers crackled. Not normal static, this had a rhythm, a pulse, like something alive moved inside the wires. Before Kayla could adjust the mixer, line 3 lit up. Her eyebrows knitted. Line 3 wasn't connected. The technician had removed the cable entirely last month, yet it blinked. She hesitated, 10 unsweated. "WXAR, you're on the air." At first, there was only breathing, wet, uneven. Then a man whispered, "Kayla, can you hear me?" Her heart dropped into her stomach. "I can hear you." "Who's calling?" A long, trembling silence. "Ethan." Her throat tightened. She didn't breathe. "Ethan Parker." "Her fiancé dead for 3 years." "No," she whispered into the mic. "This is a sick joke." The man's voice cracked, desperate. "Kayla, please don't. Hang on. I don't have much time." Kayla ripped her headset off, hands shaking. Her producer, Lucas, burst in, half asleep. "Why'd you kill the audio?" "What's wrong?" She stared at him. "Someone said he was Ethan." Lucas gave a nervous laugh. "People prank call radio shows all the time." "It wasn't a prank." "Did he ask for money? Politics? Aliens?" "No. He said my name." In Ethan's voice, Lucas's expression shifted. Concern crept in. "You sure it wasn't someone imitating him?" Kayla didn't answer. She wasn't sure, but her bones were. That voice was Ethan. She restarted the show, pretending nothing happened, but the static grew louder, harsher. Underneath it, she heard whispers, faint, layered, hundreds of voices at once, like an ocean of lost souls trying to tune in. She ended the show early. By morning, she convinced herself she imagined it. But that night, when she returned to the booth at 11:58 p.m., the static had already begun, hissing like a breathing creature waiting for her. Midnight hit. Line 3 blinked again. This time, Kayla forced herself to stay calm. "WXAR. You're on the air," a woman cried softly on the line. "Help me." Kayla leaned forward. "Ma'am, I can hear you." "What's wrong?" they said. "Don't answer. Don't pick up." "But you did." "What are you talking about?" "I'm trapped," the woman whimpered. "He's here. He comes through radios, through old frequencies. I can't run." "Don't let him." A deep, inhuman growl cut her off. Kayla jerked the headset off. Lucas ran in again. "Tell me you heard that." Kayla nodded, terrified. "Who was she? Could you trace it?" He shook his head. "Call didn't come from a phone number. It came through radio frequency input." "That's impossible." "Not for analog signals." Kayla held her breath. "You think someone is hijacking us?" Lucas didn't answer. He didn't believe that, because the fear in his eyes said something far worse. He believed it was real. The third night was different. Kayla didn't want to go in, but the station manager had already threatened to replace her. She needed the job. Needed distraction, needed anything but the silence of her apartment filled with Ethan's old photos. The static greeted her like an old friend. A cold gust swept through the studio, though no window was open. Her breath fogged. Then, the station lights flickered off. All of them. Kayla sat frozen in the pitch-dark studio. The only light was the blinking red button of line 3. Blink. Blink. She slowly lifted the receiver. A voice whispered so close, it felt like someone stood behind her. "I found you." Kayla leaped up, banging her knee into the desk. She spun toward the door. No one. Just the empty hallway. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. A text from an unknown number. Asterisk. Asterisk. Do not look at the tower. Asterisk. Asterisk. A chill slid down her spine. There was an abandoned radio tower for miles outside town. Shut down after an unexplained mass disappearance in 1987. People said the workers went up and never came down. Only their voices were found broadcasting on dead frequencies. Kayla deleted the text, but the warning clung to her. The fourth night was when everything snapped. She received 20 calls, all from dead people. Parents crying, children whispering, drivers screaming as their car crashed, voices begging her to help them escape. Kayla sobbed into her sleeves as Lucas locked the control room and unplugged every wire. But the calls kept coming through speakers, through headphones, through walls, through the metal frame of the station itself. Then one voice cut through the rest. Calm, deep. "Male, you've listened long enough." "Kayla." The others went silent immediately. She swallowed. "Who are you?" "I am the broadcaster." "What do you want from me?" "You answered my call." Static crackled like bones snapping. "That means you belong to my frequency now." Kayla bolted from the station. Lucas chased her outside, shouting her name, but she kept running. Straight to her car, straight toward the outskirts of town, straight to the old tower. Something in her needed answers. When she reached the abandoned field, her headlights illuminated the rusted skeleton of the broadcast tower. Tall, dead, wrapped in broken wires that swayed like veins. The wind stopped. The world became unnaturally silent. Then her car radio turned on by itself. Ethan's voice. "Kayla, please don't look up." She already had. And what she saw froze her entire soul. A figure was standing inside the tower structure, high above the ground. Dark, barely human. Arms unnaturally long, face hidden by shadows, eyes glowing with a cold, dead frequency. The broadcaster. He leaned forward, as if gravity didn't matter, and spoke directly into her mind. "Answer me!" Kayla screamed and ran. The field stretched into infinity. The tower shadow followed her like a predator. The air buzzed with millions of trapped voices screaming at once. She tripped, landed hard. When she looked up, Ethan stood in front of her. But his eyes were wrong. Static flickered across his skin. His voice stuttered and echoed. "You need to let me go, Kay." Tears streamed down her face. "I miss you. I know." He knelt beside her. "But if you keep listening to him, you'll end up like them." "Like who?" Ethan pointed behind her. Thousands of shadowy, translucent figures stood in the field. Men, women, children, all flickering like broken TV signals. All whispering the same words. "Leave. Leave before he takes you." Kayla sobbed. "What do I do?" "Destroy the tower." "But how?" Ethan touched her forehead. "You already know." The moment his hand made contact, Kayla gasped awake inside the radio station. The power was out. Static flooded the building. The broadcaster's silhouette pressed against the soundproof glass. Kayla grabbed the emergency fuel can, ran outside. drenched the wooden support beams inside the old transmitter shed. The broadcaster's voice thundered through the night. "You cannot end the frequency." Kayla struck a match. "I'm changing the channel." She threw it. The shed ignited. Flames shot up the tower. Wires snapped and whipped like burning serpents. Voices screamed from the collapsing structure. For a moment, she heard Ethan whisper, "I'm proud of you." Then silence. Real Silenzi. For the first time in years, the tower burned to the ground. The next morning, the fire department found Kayla unconscious near the ashes. When she woke up, the static was gone. Her show was cancelled. The station shut down permanently. But at night, sometimes when the wind is still Kala hears a distant whisper on forgotten frequencies drifting through the dark. "Kayla, can you hear me?" She never answers, because she knows. If she does, the broadcaster will return.